$1 million Call of Duty Mobile World Championship is less than 4 days away. And so as one final gift before the tournament, I'm going to be showing y'all all of my settings, including my 6-finger HUD and my sensitivity that I will be using in the World Championship. But before we get to the settings, I just wanted to give a big thank you to Call of Duty Mobile for sponsoring today's video. So make sure to go ahead and download Call of Duty Mobile right now using the link in the description. Before we get to all of the settings, I just want to give a little bit of a disclaimer. All of my settings are a little bit tweaked to fit the Samsung S23, and if you didn't know, sensitivity in HUD changes based on device. So my sense on my phone is not going to feel the same on your phone, even if the numbers are the same. So take all the numbers with a grain of salt and adjust accordingly. But first things first, here's the HUD. And a lot of people have been asking me recently for my 6-finger HUD. Honestly, I don't recommend 6 fingers on phone. But if you do want to use it, here's the HUD that I am using. I'm going to go ahead and make the hand cam a little bigger for y'all so y'all can see. And I'm just going to explain the buttons, because the most important thing isn't to have the buttons in the same spot, but to have your fingers doing the same inputs as they do on my HUD. So right here on the left side of my hand, this is going to be move. The top middle finger is going to be jump. This is going to be shoot. And then on the other side of the screen, here's your aim, crouch, prone, reload, scope, one-tap ADS, weapon switch, and grenades. The reason I have my one-tap ADS button right here is so I can slide cancel, because you have to push both of these buttons at the same time. And so that's how I do it right there. But if you do want to try this HUD out, I will leave the HUD code in the description. Next thing we're going to go over is my basic settings, and there's hundreds of YouTube videos out there already explaining what all these settings do, so I'm just going to scroll through and show y'all what I'm using. Remember that some of these are personal preference, so adjust accordingly. Here's my sprint sensitivities. Here's my FOV. On this phone, I use 65 because it's a little bigger, but on the other phone, I used to use 71 FOV, and my first person FOV is 100. Here's my map settings. I definitely recommend these. Next, I'm going to just go ahead and go over the sensitivity. I did just slightly adjust these sensitivities as I switched the phone. Usually on standard, I do 95, and my ADS is 70. But I turned everything up by 5 on this new phone because the sensitivity is just a little bit different. But it's 140 speed excel, 100 standard, and 75 ADS. And then for sniper, I have 95. Also, one of my biggest secrets that not a lot of people know is I turn up my vertical sensitivity a lot. Like, I mean a lot. Like, my ADS sensitivity is 70. And my vertical sensitivity is 150. And this literally, like, for me personally, it feels like I just turned down the recoil. So I would definitely recommend trying it out and see if it works for you. For my firing sensitivity, I have it just exactly the same except for sniper. That's the only one I have it a little bit offset. Everything else is identical. Next, and also really important, is my audio settings. A lot of people don't actually prioritize audio, and I think audio is one of the biggest things, especially as pro players. So I would definitely recommend y'all to try out these audio settings because they are a big deal and a big game changer. But it's 100 master volume, 20 UI, 100 sound effects, music off, voice chat 20, microphone doesn't matter, ambient off, and this is the most important one, team voice volume. That's the sound of the announcer calling out UAV, calling out literally anything, any score streak, whatever, and that's happening a lot, especially in ranked. So you definitely want to turn that down so you can hear the footsteps. Another thing that I forgot to mention is you want to have this custom preset all set to ADS here. That way you can slide cancel. If you don't have it set to ADS, it's not going to work. I also do use realistic scope on my snipers, so if you want to be like me, go ahead and throw that on too. Now I'm going to go ahead and show y'all the main weapons and loadouts that I will be using in the World Championship, and that's just going to be the Kilo, the Grau, the Locust, and the DRH. The DRH I am only using on Summit, but here's the build that I found that works the best for me. So this is what I will be using. Next is going to be the Locust. Here's the build that I'm using on the Locust. I don't use stippled grip tape. I don't really mind the ADS time. I would rather save on the hit flinch and throw on a suppressor because I think being silenced is really important for me. Next is going to be my Kilo build. Here's the Kilo build that I am using. A lot of y'all probably already know this. I've been using it for months now. I absolutely love it. I like it more than the Grau. It's just a little bit more effective, a little bit more bullet spread, and it has better wall penetration. So I like doing damage, I like doing wall bangs. A lot of y'all probably already know this. And then last but not least is the Grau. A lot of people are using red dot. I don't really care to. Here's my Grau build. This is what I will be using if y'all do see me use the Grau in the World Championship. And all the perks are just about the same. A lot of these are just different utility. I do use iron lungs on the sniper, And here's the L car. This L car is just super fast mobility. If you want to run around just as fast as boxing gloves, this L car literally has the same mobility as boxing gloves or any other melee in the game. So if you want to run around just as fast while still having something that's like lethal at range and not just point blank, then I would definitely recommend throwing on this L car build. Lastly, I just want to show y'all my warm-up routine, but these are the settings that I use. I go ahead and go to the settings and I add 2 bots close, not moving, and then I add 3 medium that are moving at fast or high speed. And then you turn the data panel on, move the settings, and whenever you are aim training and you want to practice getting better aim, you're gonna also have to incorporate movement. You're not gonna be in game aiming while standing still. So whenever you are trying to practice your aim, make sure you're moving, sliding, jumping, doing whatever you can to shoot these bots. But the main thing is spray transfers. So I'm gonna go from one standing still, right, and I'll flick to one that's moving. And the goal is to maintain a higher sensitivity. If you're new to this, I recommend not turning on unlimited ammo, but if you kind of know the limits of the ammo, you could go ahead and turn it on just to be a little bit more efficient. My aim isn't perfect right now because I did just switch back to this device, but usually I try to aim for about 50 to 60 accuracy while doing this. Right now, I'm still kind of adapting. I do this for about 20 minutes every day, so I would definitely recommend y'all hop in and just do it for the full time of the training mode. There's a timer in the top left. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you found this useful, make sure to drop a like, drop a sub, and if you do end up using any of my settings and sensitivity, go ahead and tag me in a clip either on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. It doesn't matter. Just go ahead and send it to me. I would absolutely love to see it, especially those of y'all who are using my HUD. It's just more than impressive, and I can't believe that people are actually insane enough to use 6 fingers on phone just like me. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.